Hello and welcome to all. In today's session, we'll see most commonly used types of software testing. Now, if you see in real project, testing software testing is broadly classified into functional, non-functional, specialized, and modern testing. Okay. Now, if you see what is the software testing, it's the overall quality validation of the application. Okay, but this software testing also further classified into subcategory. Okay, first is a functional testing. Okay, so functional testing is what the system does, what the business requirements is. So that is called functional testing. Then next is non-functional testing. So non-functional testing means how well the system perform. Then next is specialized testing. It it is a like backend or platform and the data focused testing. Okay, it includes the API testing or database testing. We'll see all these details in next slide. Then next is a modern testing. Okay, this is a related to AI production deployment and the DevOps oriented testing. Okay. Okay, so we'll start with the manual testing. Okay, testing the application manually without using automation tool. Okay, in manual testing, we are not using any automation tools. And basically here, manual testers manually checks the login with valid, invalid credentials. We are executing the manual test cases. We are validating the error message. Okay, we are also verifying the manually UI alignment on different screen sizes. Okay, next is automation testing. Okay, in automation testing, we are using the tools, we are writing the scripts to execute the test cases automatically. Okay, so basically, automation testing is useful in regression testing. Okay, even we can integrate the with CI/CD pipeline. Okay, it reduces the repetitive manual work. And if you see example of automation testing right now in industry, we are using Selenium, Playwright, Cypress, and APM. Okay. Next is a functional testing. It validates the whether the system works as per the business requirement. Okay. Now, if you see my business requirement is like user should receive the OTP within 30 seconds. Okay. Then what as per what application we are expecting? Okay. When we trigger the OTP, it validate delivery time and the correct mix, and it should receive the OTP within 30 seconds. So this is the functional requirement, and that is called the functional testing. Then next is a regression testing. So regression testing it ensures the new changes did not break existing functionality. That means if developer fix any bug, it should not be break the other models or other. It should not create the other defects. Okay. So basically, regression testing is useful when we are providing the agile or frequent releases, monthly releases. Okay, or quarterly releases or any hotfix deployment. Okay, so now here I give the example like after fixing a payment bug, we need to retest the login, search, and the payment features. Then next is a API testing. Okay, so this testing backend the services without UI. So when we are doing the API testing, okay, we don't have the UI. We are just executing the service. And for this one, we are using the tool like Postman, REST Assured, and the Karate. Okay, and like if you say example, when we execute the API, okay, then we are validating the status code. It should return the 200 response time. It should be less than 2 seconds, and maybe we'll also verify the JSON response, the structure. It should return the JSON response correctly. Okay. The next is the performance testing. Okay, it checks the how the system behaves under load. So for this one, we are using JMeter, load runner, Gatling. Okay, so if you see example, so if you want to perform the performance testing on our application, like example, like 100 users log in simultaneously. Okay, so manually this is not possible. Okay, that is the reason we are using the JMeter. Then when we log in the 100 user through JMeter, then we will verify system should not crash and response time should be less than 3 seconds. Again, so this depends on the what the product is expecting. Okay, if product is expecting response should less than 2 seconds, okay, then we need to work on the refactor the code side or we need to refactor the SP side, backend side. The next is security testing. This is also very important testing. Basically, security testing the like bank, finance companies are using. Okay, they are very strict. Okay, it identified the vulnerabilities in the application, and for this one, we are using the most famous tool like Burp Suite. Okay, and real example like SQL ingestion, then cross-site scripting, broken authentication. Okay, if anything is not working, like cross-site scripting or broken authentication, okay, if companies found the finance banking companies, they are not accepting this kind of product. So we need to fix everything: cross-site scripting, then SQL ingestion, broken authentication. Okay, next is the integration testing. So testing integration between the multiple models. Okay, like here I give the example. It's integrated between the UI, API, and database. Okay, so it ensures the data flows correctly across the system. The next is the system testing. It's an end-to-end testing of the complete application. So before UIT or the production release, we need to perform the system integration. So now here you can see right from register to email confirmation, and in between we are doing the login, order, and the payment. The next is a user acceptance testing. It validated by the business users or the client. Basically, the business users, they are verifying the business flow, okay, business rules and reports accuracy. Okay. Then next is the compatibility testing. So in compatibility testing, we check the application behavior across the browsers, devices, and operating system. Like here you can see whether our application is working on the Chrome, Firefox, or the Edge. It should work all the three browsers correctly and properly. All the UI alignment should display correctly. If there is some mismatch, okay, then we need to, as a QA, we need to raise a defect. Then we also need to verify if our application is supporting Android versus iOS. Okay, then we also verify these things: Windows versus Mac operating system. Okay. The next is usability testing. It focuses on the user experience. Okay, it check out the flow easy. Is error message understandable or not? Okay, this is UI that all the fields are looking visible. Okay, the colors is visible. Even labels are visible and readable. Okay. The next, in modern approach right now, we are using the AI assistant testing. Okay, so here AI assistant testing, we are using the tools like Testing and Mabel Functionize. Okay, so even using the AI, we can create a manual test case, and self-healing locators means like if our test scripts are, when we develop the scripts and that scripts are failing because of the locators are changing dynamically. Okay, then in that case we'll use the self healing locators so that our script will not fail and it will execute the smoothly. Okay, and the next, like if you see, this is the slide where I have mentioned everything. Like here you can see main categories, subtype testing, and what are the things we need to consider, and the main focus. Like software testing is the main category. Inside that software testing, functional testing. Under functional testing, we are covering manual testing, automation testing, regression testing, flow testing. Okay, in manual testing, this is a manual team is involved and mostly consider the UI validation, exploratory testing, and it's early testing. And automation testing, if you see Selenium playwrights, and mostly main focus is regression, CI/CD. Okay, continuous integration, continuous development. Regression testing, we are covering the smoke, sanity, and regression testing main focus is on the build stability. And when we say flow testing, we are doing the integration system, UAT, user acceptance testing, and end-to-end validation. Okay. Then next is the non-functional testing. Okay, it check the performance testing. Under performance testing, we are doing load, stress, spike. Basically, we are focusing on the speed and scalability. And in security testing, we are verifying the authentication and the vulnerabilities. And this is the main use for the data protection. Then next is the usability and the accessibility. Okay, here we are basically verifying the user experience. Okay, then specialized testing. Okay, so this is the API testing. We are using REST. Okay, then correct framework and other things. So this is the for the backend services. And then next is database testing. So data integrity we are verifying and data accuracy. Main focus is data accuracy. Then next is the compatibility testing. We are verifying browsers, operating system, and device. So we are making sure that cross-platform support. Okay. Then mobile testing, if in case our application is also supporting mobile testing, then we need to use the Android iOS. Okay. And the modern testing, if you see production testing, it's a live validation. After the post deployment, maybe we need to execute the smoke or the Sonnet on a specific model, if in case we are giving the hotfix. And AI assistant testing, like self healing test, This is smart automation. We can use the self-healing test in our automation scripts. And next is the continuous testing. We are using or we are integrate in continuous integration, continuous development pipeline. And basically, this is the DevOps integration. So this is the we are right now we are using as and when build is deployed. Okay, so automatically it trigger the smoke and followed by the regression. Okay, and directly result will generate it, and as a QA we'll just verify the result. Okay, so nowadays we're also approaching these things. Okay, for this one we are using the harness and all these details for the DevOps integration. Okay, so this is the overall about the different types of testing used in soft as a part of software testing. So if in case you have any questions, queries, please let me know. Thank you.